Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at Ask Adam Torres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Dane Maxwell on the line, and he's founder over at Start From Zero. Dane, welcome to the show.
Let's do this, man.
All right, so I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we know what's going on right now in the country and with the pandemic, and we know there's a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives out there that are thinking about different ways to make money. So we're going to go through all of that. But before we do, I do want to give the audience a little bit more on your background. So tell us a little bit more about what you're doing over at Start From Zero, please.
Well, so fired from an internship in college, picked up a book, realized being an employee was a slow way to get through life, decided to do entrepreneurship, started just to fly there, loved it so much, not even financially fly, at least initially. 16 businesses, 11 failures, 5 succeeded. I did pattern recognition on the stuff that worked. I did pattern recognition on the stuff that didn't. I used those patterns to now start businesses with, 90% success rate or more. And just have a really good time, and ended up perfecting a method to allow anybody to either rapidly add a new product line to their business from scratch or start a new business from scratch.
No, I love it, Dane. And that's the reason why I wanted you on the show to cover this subject. So where do you want to start with this? A lot of people, kind of a lot of time of fear right now with COVID going on, the pandemic. We're in the middle of this. So for those listening, we're recording this in April of 2020. That being said, where do you want to start with that subject?
Well, if fear is triggered in your system, it's a perfectly natural biological trait. And you should not feel any shame for the fear. So if you have fear, very safe way to move it is putting your hand over your mouth and going, whoo, and making the sound of fear. Now, you got to imagine if a guy is being attacked by a tiger, he's going to be afraid. What sound would that guy make? That sound is probably in you if you're feeling fear around COVID. Not that you're getting killed by a tiger per se, but if your survival starts to get threatened, it'll trigger in the brain. Fear response happens. It's a natural thing. It's how your brain's wired. If you're in the woods and you hear a twig snap at night, you will trigger fear because you will think something's going to eat you. That's naturally in your brain. You do not control that. So if you have fear, there's no shame. If you're a bear in the woods and a twig snaps, you will get excited because you will think there is food. So please understand that there's a natural wiring to your system, and I want to give you full permission to be a full human being. First, so address fear, because before we talk about any business strategy, any business tactics for your business, unless fear has been felt and expressed, because fear releases chemicals from your brain into your body. Chemicals go into your body, and if you do not express those chemicals, they become part of your sense of self, which is very, very dangerous. You do not want to be trying to start a new business or innovating your current business while you have survival emotions rampant, because you will not think clearly and you will not be present to the circumstance. That being said, once fear has been addressed, and I have been afraid many days, and I just move the fear by expressing it, and then I get to work. And it doesn't need to be but 2 or 3 minutes of making a sound like that, and you're good to go. So now when you have that, we want to look at business, and we want to look at business as a fundamental framework, one that we can return to in times of crisis, because in times of crisis, sometimes frameworks work really well. What I consider the holy grail for business frameworks is something I call clear customer, clear result, clear mechanism. If you look at a business and there's a clear customer out there that wants a clear result, and you give them a clear mechanism, that's a way for you to be in business. Now, the kind of businesses that I start, I do not fulfill or deliver the mechanism myself. I am not an expert. I am an entrepreneur. I do not work in the business. I own my businesses. In order to do that, I must not be the one who's the expert at the mechanism. So I could find out people that own parrots. They want to get their parrots behaving, so they stop biting them and their friends. So you hire a parrot instructor and give them 20% profits, but you have a course now and you have a business. You do not need to be the expert. So now we look at clear customer, clear result, clear mechanism. I've done this many times for myself. I love software as a service. Software as a service is my favorite business model. Everything about it excites me. I feel like I'm a 6-year-old kid when I build it. That being mine, I've done membership sites, I've done information sites, I've done all these things. But software as a service is just so much fun. And it also happens to be one of the most rapid wealth generation vehicles of our entire history of mankind. Is the greatest wealth generation vehicle is software as a service. So you don't have to be a developer. Clear customer, clear result, hire a developer. If you're teaching parrot owners, clear customer, clear result, hire the parrot instructor. You can have so much freedom in business when you live in this context. So now in COVID, during coronavirus, okay, we've talked about how to address the fear, survival emotions. Now you've got a clear customer that wants a clear result. That's still there. The thing that COVID has destroyed for many businesses is the delivery of the mechanism. The mechanism is what has been destroyed. Most entrepreneurs suffer what we want to call mechanism first thinking. We suffer as a species from expertise first thinking. Go to school, get good grades, get a job, build up your expertise, exchange that expertise for money. Then we bring that freaking belief system into entrepreneurship, build up your expertise, exchange that for money. That's not freedom. That's expert syndrome. That's mechanism first thinking. And when we think our business is dependent on a mechanism, then we are trapped in our business. And when COVID comes and destroys our mechanism, we think our business is destroyed, but in fact, it's not. What's going on is there's a clear customer that wants a clear result. We must innovate the mechanism. So if you're a yoga studio and you can no longer have people inside your yoga studio, there are still people out there that still want to do yoga. And there are some studios that are pivoting to virtual models and teaching people yoga on Zoom. And there are other personal trainers that are bringing their systems into virtual Zoom. So there are ways, there are crazy ways. I'm in a part of a group where these business owners are all discussing ideas on ways they're pivoting. There's a woman that owns a dog grooming business. She can't cut people's dogs' hair right now. So what she did is she launched a membership program and said, when this is over, you can be first in line to get a haircut and lock in your spot right now, pay for a yearly membership, and your dog will get their haircut and they'll be first in line. And she made $30,000 last month while other dog stores were closed because she innovated her mechanism. Okay, clear customer, clear result, innovate the mechanism. I'm telling you, business is abundant, business is amazing, and in times of crisis like this, in times of COVID, there is so much money moving right now. It is insane. So many parents are buying chalk. So many parents are buying bicycles. So many people are buying things that are flying off the shelves. And there are other businesses that are getting destroyed, but money always moves, and money does not stop moving. And that was one of the most important things I heard, because I was selling software to the real estate industry in 2008 when the economy collapsed. I was selling software to the most impacted, most affected industry. My income tripled that year because one mentor told me, he said, Dane, do not listen to the news. Money is still moving. If it's not moving in first-time homes, that money still moves. It's just moving in foreclosures, but money still moves. Do not believe for a second that money isn't moving. That will cripple you. Do not listen to the news. And please look at your clear customer. Ask them what results they want. Outsource the delivery of the mechanism, and you have yourself a business.
Man, that's awesome. I love that, Dane. And it's great advice. And you got me all fired up here. I'm like, what else can we add? This is a great time. It's a great time to be in business. So that being said, Dane, a couple questions for you. So first off, a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people listening right now. In terms of your company, so start from zero. What are the right types of clients that you like working with? What are the right types of clients that are typically a good fit? And how do they reach out? Like, how do they connect with what you're doing, Dane?
Well, if you feel a connection to my voice, please come to startfromzero.com. If there is something calling you in the way that I'm speaking, and you know deep down within you there is a clarity that exists that can produce so much fire and so much power when you wake up in the morning because you have simple clarity. And yes, it's a great time to start a business. And yes, it is also a terrifying time to start a business. How can you hold both paradoxes? How can you hold both? How could you work through the day and all of a sudden get just wiped out by fear? But then know that you can just make that sound move the fear and then get back to work. Nothing needs to stop you, and nothing can stop you if you build your metacognition in your brain to see the thoughts, to see the feelings, to see all the... If you have no metacognition in your brain, which means you cannot see your own brain with your own brain, you can't use awareness to watch your thoughts, you'll think you are those thoughts, and then you'll get crippled by it. But please don't believe for a second that you're crippled, because there's always a way through. So that kind of clarity is what you need. And if you feel a connection to my voice in any way, just come to startfromzero.com. When you go there, you'll be able to see my number one best-selling book that hit number one bestseller in the entrepreneurship category on Amazon the first day it was released. That's Start From Zero. You can get the book there. It's very affordable. And then if you like anything else, you can go to the site. We've got 3 different phases that you can go through on the site. Like if you are just getting started in business, it's phase 1. If you know how to get customers, you're ready to go to phase 2. And if you know how to get customers and sell courses, then you're ready to go to phase 3 and build the holy grail, which is software as a service. But it can also be hell, because you can also get your lunch eaten with software. But if you connect to my voice in any way, if you own an existing business, please use this book and please use this methodology to innovate your business and build the most lucrative and profitable business you've ever built, because you know how to follow this Start From Zero framework, which is clear customer, clear result, clear mechanism. Now, the best part about this is that you don't even have to come up with ideas and you don't have to come up with solutions. There exists a 5-question framework that we've created at Start From Zero and tested over years of refinement. And you can ask anybody these 5 questions and they will give you their most deeply crippling problem, and they will actually give you the solution they want. You don't even have to come up with the idea. You don't even have to find the problem. It's incredible. And you can find that all for free at startfromzero.com. And if you want the book excerpt that has those 5 questions, you can also get that free at startfromzero.com/5 FIVE. But startfromzero.com will take you to a mental framework that will give you so much power over money. And it's an amazing relationship when you have peace with your money. And the way that you have peace with your money is by building 4 different brains. You need the brain to make money, the brain to keep money, the brain to grow, the brain to grow and multiply money, and then the brain to share it and give that money to charity. Those 4 brains all working in tandem create a very peaceful financial brain. And there's a system to make money, a system to keep money, a system to multiply it, and a system to give it away. And if you learn these systems, when it comes to making money, one of those systems is clear customer, clear result, clear mechanism. Money comes from people. People are going to give you money. They give you money for a result. How do you find that? Well, use the 5-question process to figure out the problem and the result they want. So startfromzero.com, go there and just, if you connect with my voice in any way, we got a podcast you can listen to where you hear me mentoring people one-on-one, telling them exactly what to do based on their unique situation, how to make money. You can get the book there. You can see the 4 make money, keep money, multiply money brains, and just welcome to a great life when you realize
awesome,
that
man.
there needs to be no struggle in business. None. There needs to be no struggle in business.
Man, I love it. You're a rock star. Love what you're doing. Definitely to my audience, go check that out. I mean, you're not going to be disappointed. The book, the podcast, all that. Love to promote other podcasters. You got me all fired up over here, so I know my audience is fired up. And to my audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give that a subscribe, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Dane, thanks again for coming on the show today and sharing your tips on how business owners and entrepreneurs can get through what's going on right now, and not only just get through it, but excel and come out better on the other end. So Dane, thanks again for coming on the show.